Ciao, I am Martina and welcome back to my channel. In my teaching experience, I noticed that there is somewhat of a difficult relationship between student and book, or sometimes even student and Italian teacher. And this is because we as language learners sometimes lack the tools to understand how the language functions. And if we're not familiar with them, consulting a book or even keep up with the Italian teacher can be difficult. So today in this video, I'm gonna give you just that, the tools to fully understand YouTube video explanations, Italian teachers that are too grammatical in their explanations, or even if you're a self-learner, how to understand those difficult words in the book. Ready to begin? Let's start. Let's start from the core, from the very basic of the Italian language. Italian, it's a language very similar to English in terms of construction, because it's comprised of subject, verb, and object. So we can all easily understand this sentence. Laura legge il libro. Laura reads the book. Exact same structure. So let's see what these words mean. Subject, verb, and object. A verb is a word to describe an action, an experience, or even a state of being. It's the motor, the engine of the sentence. And then we said that we have a subject and an object. And they're both nouns. And nouns are those words that represent a person, a place, a thing, an idea, etc. But in our sentence, we said Laura legge il libro. Laura reads the book. What is this the? There is a whole series in every language of little words that they don't really make sense when you translate from one language into the other because they don't translate really well. From English into Italian, we are lucky because articles are those little words that are placed always before the noun and they define it. What does it mean? It defines the type of relationship that we have towards the object. Is it a known object or an unknown object? For example, Laura reads the book or Laura reads a book. In the first sentence, we know it's that book. A book, it's more general. In Italian, we have more articles than in English because while in English it explains the relationship, known or unknown, so definite or indefinite article, in Italian the article also describes the gender and the number of the noun coming right after. Okay, let's bring back our sentence from before. What if we were to say, instead of Laura reads the book, we add something like Laura reads the red book. Red is the so-called adjectives, and adjectives are those words that we use to describe a noun, to add something to it, and describe that the book is red. This is a main difference between English and Italian. Usually the adjective, so the word that describes how the noun is, in English is before, so you would have the red book. In Italian it's after, so it's il libro rosso, because we want to know first what it is and then how it is. So adjectives are those words to describe a noun. And nouns are those words that represent a person, a place, a thing, etc. Okay, but what if instead of describing a noun, I want to describe a verb? So how an action is performed? Well, in this case, we need an adverb. And adverbs are basically the equivalent of adjectives. Adjectives are for nouns, so for things, people, names, etc. And adverbs are for verb. Adverb, it goes with the verb. An example of an adverb, Laura legge il libro velocemente. Laura reads the book quickly. And this is a tip that I can give you off the bat. All the adverbs that in English end in ly, or most of them, in Italian they end in mente. So you have velocemente, lentamente, attentamente, animatamente, etc. Okay, we are almost done. Here I'm about to touch base with a topic that I know a lot of students struggle with. The thing is, us as human beings, we don't like to repeat ourselves, right? So in our sentence, Laura reads the book. She bought the book yesterday. She really likes the book. Yeah, let's say book one more time. In English, like in Italian, we would use a pronoun. Pronouns are those little words that stand in place of a noun. What we want to do with a pronoun, it's basically avoid the repetition, avoiding to say book, book, book a million times. So just like in English, in Italian as well, we have these pronouns, these words that stands instead of a noun. That's what it is, pronoun. Like it. She reads the book. She bought it yesterday. She really likes it. Now let's go even further with difficult things. I am pretty sure you are aware of the word prepositions. But what are prepositions really? Very bothersome, very annoying little words that we never get right, including me in English. I always make mistakes. Pull out or pull through. Ugh. I have to admit, for how annoying preposition might be, they are extremely helpful because they establish the relationship with the noun and with the sentence in itself. They help us understand what kind of relationship there is in terms of place, time, direction, space, etc. So again, prepositions are useful to understand better the sentence. So for example, if we say Laura legge il libro, Laura reads the book. At home, do you see how we are putting the book in relationship with Laura, with the space? And this is exactly what prepositions do. They put things into relation. And to conclude this video, 2 more easy things. They are pretty much the same as English. Number 1, conjunctions. They're basically conjunct. They put together 2 sentences. Laura legge il libro e, conjunction, beve un caffè. And lastly, interjections. Interjections are my favorite thing to learn in a foreign language, and no, they're not only swear words. Interjections are basically words that express a strong feeling or an emotion. For example, oh no, oh, cavolo, dai, etc. And as you've probably seen in these 3 examples, in Italian, interjections are strongly connected with hand gestures and facial expressions. Okay, so let's recap. We have 9 different items that are useful for learning a language. And an interesting fact is that these 9 items are split in 2, in between variables and invariables. What does it mean? It means that the variables, which are noun, verbs, adjectives, articles, and pronouns, change in gender and number, meaning masculine, feminine, singular, plural, according to the thing that we're talking about. Whereas the invariables, like prepositions, conjunction, interjections, and adverbs, they never change. They always stay the same, meaning that they don't agree in gender and number with the words surrounding them. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful and it kind of helped you to figure out the different names that are used in books and perhaps even teachers use in explaining the language. Now let me know in the comments which one of these did you struggle with the most, and if you like, leave me a comment also on new things and topics that you would like to see, whether in Italian or in English. I will see you on Instagram if you want to hang out there with me a little bit. Otherwise, I'll see you back in the next video. Ciao!